I ask that you, as this night goes on, just to remember who we're here for, who we're here to support, and just keep that in mind. And once again, on behalf of the Warrior Bonfire Program, I want to thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you all for supporting our program.
Watch over those that are defending our freedoms and our right to giving us the right to be able to join here at this great venue and be together in safety and peace.
There are so many people that we could thank, not only for this event, but most importantly for helping us serve those that we do serve, those Purple Heart recipients.
Freedom is not free. Freedom comes with tremendous costs. Blood, sweat, tears, treasure. Somebody is paying those things. Somebody has to pay those costs, period. This organization right here, Warrior Bonfire, you're talking about an organization that believes soundly in the greatness of this country and a willingness to sacrifice themselves and their time and their money and their effort on behalf of this nation. They are willing to compete. Why? Because of love of the game. They have a passion for what they represent and who they serve. These are individuals, as you know, that have given up enormous amounts of themselves. There are people in this room right now that are representing those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. And lastly, when it comes to Warrior Bonfire, what they do is they enable a sense of purpose. That may be the number one killer, as it pertains to U.S. military personnel and veterans. It's a lack of purpose. This organization not only enables service members and veterans to find their purpose, but they actually empower them to do so. They empower them to do so. As you can tell, I'm already pretty fired up. I haven't had a single cocktail. This is just how I get when I get to spend time with some amazing people at an amazing event for an amazing cause. And I'm gonna use a quote by a man named Edmund Burke in the early 17th century, is the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. That is all that is necessary. The only thing that's necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
My brother and I both served in the military, loved soldiers, and I knew there were some that wanted to get out of the house. And so I actually started calling Walter Reed and trying to get soldiers out of there, and they were going, "Who are you? Leave us alone, don't call here anymore." I never thought to even look right in my own hometown. And then I met a fellow we affectionately know as Greg Chuck Charles Williams, Staff Sergeant in the Army, Purple Heart. And the day after he spoke at one of our events, I took him back to his home, and we were traveling, and he told me that he could spend 8 hours with a PhD certified counselor, but what he really needed was an hour around a bonfire with 5 or 6 of his buddies that were there. Shortly after that, we gathered 6 guys together. Greg got them for us at a deer hunt. And in the very beginning, we were sitting around a round table, and the conversations across the table were these guys were taking care of each other. And my brother and I looked at each other and went, uh-oh, there's way more to this than deer hunting. And we decided that night that we were the Warrior Bonfire Program. And so I decided that we would have a bonfire and a flag retirement ceremony with them retiring parts of the flag in honor of some of their fallen veterans. And it was one of the most emotional things I had ever been to in my life. And the next morning at breakfast, I said, guys, I think I've crossed a line that I shouldn't have crossed? I'm sorry for that. And they said, absolutely not. They said that was one of the most powerful things I've ever done. They said, I've never shed a tear over any of this. And they all told me, they said, I could not do this in front of my wife. I couldn't do it in front of my kids. I can only do it in front of my buddies who are here. The important thing happens around the round table when they all tell their stories. And they all have now 5 new battle buddies to go home with and to call on when they have problems. I can't tell you how many times I have heard that suicide is now off the table.